What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and today I wanted to look at digital echo chambers and how they're kind of reframing our society and what it actually means, for our future, our collective future. So, if you imagine two people living in the same city, but they experience completely different realities. You might have one person who sees a world full of opportunity and prosperousness, and you got another person who sees nothing but decline and violence and threat and whatever, right? They get the same facts, different algorithms, opposing truths. That's what I like to call digital tribalism in action. So, let's look at the hard truth. Life today, society today, we're more connected than we've ever been, but at the same time, we're more divided than ever. Social media algorithms, they, feed us what we want to hear, but not what we need to hear. So they're creating like perfect echo chambers where all of our beliefs can go unchallenged and we don't have to hear any different opposing argument or different things like that. But if you think about it, most people would say like social media has a negative effect on their day to day, as well as a negative effect in the country, like on the country in a whole. But a lot of people feel like they're immune to the negative effects of social media. Everybody has their side of the discussion, and the other side of any debate or any topic, they're trapped in the echo chamber. Like, take for instance, like, the wealth gap. You might have somebody who's making 30,000. If they talk to somebody who's making 300,000 and they try to debate economics, it's like they're gonna be like, living in two different realities. Their social media feeds will probably reflect and amplify, their differences within the income that they're making. And this type of mindset, it comes at a severe cost. Think about it. If we need to innovate, and you have to innovate, you have to collaborate. Progress needs compromise. You need to be able to progress. You need to be able to come together on different things in order to make things happen. So if we can't, things like wealth inequality, technological displacement, how are we gonna like settle these things if we can't even get the truth, or we can't even compromise on the basic facts? It's not about your identity. It's not about politics. You know, if you if you disagree with someone politically, they're not just wrong, but you look at them like they're your enemy. And I feel like that whole mentality is killing our ability to actually solve real problems. The wealth are getting wealthier, the poor are getting poorer, and the echo chambers that we find ourselves in are actually preventing us from having those right conversations that we need to have. Each side of any debate, of any question, you know, has a solution, right? They have a narrative, but nobody actually from each side wants to come together and actually have a dialogue. So we need to start actually thinking about the future and what it looks like. Start to imagine like everyone having their own platforms where it's actually meant to bridge the divide rather than deepen the divide. All these algorithms, they're exposing us to different perspectives rather than reinforcing our own base, right? Think about wealth disparity. We can't even have proper discussions about economics because there's a line drawn in the sand when it comes to classism. People who have different opposing views politically, they've begun to demonize each other, and we've seen that with the last election. Is it right? No. Some people might say it is right. It's my way or the highway. But this isn't the right way to think. People think that thinking like this is necessary for survival. We're facing so many different challenges like AI, wealth, space exploration, so many different things. They call for serious cooperation between people who think differently than you. We need to start moving away from like tribalism and start actually moving into a collective intelligence. So I think some ways that we can move from breaking out of our echo chambers in order to have proper discourse, I actually think we need to start, looking out and actively looking out for different people's viewpoints, different people's perspectives, and actually try to understand where they're coming from. Stop alienating people because they think of things differently. Start supporting platforms, technologies that, promote dialogue instead of division. Like, it's you and I verse for a reason. And we have to start being humble. We have to start actually being able to change our mind when we're presented with new evidence. I know, for me, like sometimes because I'm so stuck in my ways personally that some people might, provide new evidence or provide a new outlook on something, and I'm just like, nah, like I'm not even really trying to hear it. Like I'm so stuck in my way with my way of thinking that what you're saying is alien to me. But I'm saying we have to change that mindset. Be open to thinking about things differently if some new evidence is presented to you, right? Like right now, if we go outside and there's new evidence that says, the sky isn't blue, it's purple, but the evidence is presented, are you going to change the way you looked at it? Or are you going to say, oh, all my life I've grown up and I've realized and I've known that the sky is blue, but there's concrete evidence to say that, it might be purple, right? Blue and purple, they're just a few shades off, right? Just a few shades off, but still different colors, right? Just like everybody in the world. Everybody's just a different shade of brown, depending on which side you're looking at. So I think realistically, the choice is ours. We can decide to just remain in our respective tribe, comfortable, watch society, how it plays out. Or, we could try to break free from our own mental imprisonment and build a future that's worth having. And like I always say, it's you and I verse for a reason. I teach you, you teach me, and we take what we taught each other and apply it to what's going on. That's the only way humanity, society, life can progress and grow and get to that future where differences of opinion won't be too much of a difference, because those differences of opinion can make the difference. It's Professor Zeus. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'm on the way to 200 followers on YouTube. I'm taking the humble approach. But if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, share it. It's you and I verse for a reason.